set the scene up front. This episode of the SLM podcast was recorded before Christmas, and due to Christmas, New Year, and having festive flu, etc., things were delayed. So in the video, we talk about the resilience connection waiting list, and that it be launched on the 1st of January. I appreciate today is the 5th of January, and I just wanted to explain why the dates are off. The waiting list is now done. The resilience connection is now live and up and running. And Ronnie Genther is a friend, a corporate sponsor, a collaborator, and my guest on this particular episode, because his company, the Warehouse Health and Fitness Club in Aberdeen, is his business. I've helped him in this last year, and he's very, very personally passionate about helping the members of his gym in every way possible, not just in physical health and fitness, but mental health and fitness. So hence the collaboration. Very personal for me too. I am obviously very passionate about what I do, and hence why the collaboration with Ronnie and the Warehouse to foster a community based around physical and mental health and fitness. So this collaboration is the perfect collaboration to grow this community and help to support more people from both sides of the fence. So get stuck in, go and watch this episode. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure you will, because it is, as I say, very personal to Ronnie. He gives some great advice, some personal experience of working with me, of the community itself, of the coaching lessons, and go and watch and sign up to the Resilience Connection. Join a growing community of like-minded people who want to increase and enhance their mental and physical health and fitness. Enjoy.
You're up. I'm up.
Your
I'm
podcast.
Up and down like a fucking horse draws.
It's going to be an 18 plus podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I don't promise to not swear,
That's fine.
because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, indeed.
Really?
Exactly.
Okay. Ronnie, finishing the year on a high with this collaboration, which I think is an ideal collaboration. Two different communities based around strength and resilience coming together. It's been a long time coming for me and for you.
Yeah.
I've procrastinated and faffed around for far too long, but finally got my arse in gear this year. What was it that really, I suppose, what's the word I'm looking for, sparked your interest in collaborating with this? What's the drive behind it?
Well, I guess it's the same with me. It was a long time coming as well. So I bought the club in 2021, coming out the back end of lockdown, and it was all over the news how apparent that it was that gym and fitness and exercise was so linked into people's mental health. So I bought the club as it was more of a passion project than a business. So I wanted to straight away think, right, how do I make the community better, and how do I better sort of tie in with the mental health aspect of things. And the amount of people that messaged me saying, so glad you've got Warehouse, so glad you're opening it up again. I need this for my mental health. I also knew that you were in that field from a while ago, and had a good friend, Bradley Allen, that was also working in mental health as well. So first thing I did before even looking at gym kit was contacted both of you guys. And I knew that I wanted to do something, but I just didn't know how to do it and what it was going to look like. And by the time we got the club open, it was like, right, I want to go. Bradley had said he was leaving his career in the oil industry and he was going to away to go work full time for a mental health charity. So I was like, right, that works for me. That sounds good. Let's do a collab. And then, unfortunately, not long after that, he took his own life.
Yep.
So that paused it for me for a while, and then my son was born. So again, it took a while to get back to here again. But then this year, I've really needed help with my mental health. And then when I contacted you basically for, hey, Si, I need help and I'd like to help other people as well. It was just a perfect timing, was it? Because you had Resilience Connection near enough good to go.
Yep.
And it couldn't have worked out better, I think, for both of us.
Yeah, it's spooky, isn't it? I think things happen. They only happen when they're ready to happen. You can't force it. And I certainly didn't have the platform, the right platform to host it on and kind of manage it all effectively. And now that all that's in place, and it's funny because it's not. This is not. The Resilience Connection is not a treatment method, but on the back of kind of the warehouse, the gym being a community to build physical strength and physical resilience, which takes some mental strength as well to push yourself to the levels that guys and girls do in here. As you mentioned earlier, there's a guy you've been speaking to who's struggling physically, and that's affecting his mental health. If we're not psychologically resilient, if we're not emotionally resilient and psychologically resilient, when our body fails and we're so used to relying on physical release to help maintain our mental health, if we can't do that and we're not psychologically resilient, then it's going to be so much harder to keep yourself on an even keel. So the training starts here, in order so that you have that backup when the shit hits the fan physically. I know this personally. I'm not as physically capable as I used to be, and it doesn't. I'm not going to say it doesn't piss me off, but I manage it a lot better than I used to, and I appreciate what I can and can't do now. Yeah. Even though I still screw it up and do things I shouldn't. So I think it's probably one of the most meaningful collaborations I've had so far. And the fact that it was driven by, initially sparked by really me helping you this year. What would you say to people about the kind of help that's within this course? Because you've had a look at it, you've had a look at the content, and we'll go into more of that in a little while. But how has it helped you, and what would you like to say to people who are struggling or feel that they could do with managing their emotions better in order to be psychologically resilient?
Yeah. Well, I've actually, since I've started speaking about it, it's been crazy the amount of people that have come forward to me and said, hey, I feel the same. Like, can you connect me with Simon? So it's been really good to see. But for me, I was really struggling to control my emotions. I was messing up a relationship that meant a lot to me. I would just pick fights, pick arguments, and I would just get overly worked up about things there was no need to get worked up about. I'd kind of identified I probably need some help, and tried traditional therapy, which was kind of just speaking about your feelings, speaking about the past. It's not really giving you any tools to move forward with. So I thought that I was getting better, but really I wasn't, and it wasn't working. And then once it all kind of came to a head, and that relationship ended, I'm not embarrassed to say that for about 5 weeks I was uncontrollably upset every day, couldn't function. And then I thought, right, reach out to Si. And you just as casually, you were like, yeah, I've got a tool that'll sort that for you. And I'm like, how? Like, what do you mean you've got a tool that'll sort that? Like, I'm an old man now, Simon. Thrashing me up a hill is not going to do the job here. So then when you came, and then it was unbelievable. The going through the sort of the breathing with you and the interrupting the negative thoughts, and it just instantly clicked for me. It felt like, okay, I understand this now, and it's made it conscious in my head, not just from a relationship perspective, but just a day-to-day life. I getting angry, I get myself worked up about things. I consciously just interrupt that negative thought process.
Yeah.
start breathing, bring myself back down, and then I've been like a different person. Like it's actually completely changed me in every way from one session. And I went from, I think I described it to you, I felt like every day I was just holding back floodgates.
Yeah.
And if I forgot to keep holding, they would burst in my face and I would just burst into tears and I couldn't really function. But then after that one session, anytime I felt like that was starting to come up, just stopped, interrupted that pattern, started breathing, started relaxing, and then I was just almost instantly able to just get on with my life again.
Yeah.
And I've been just getting better day by day since then as well. It's almost subconscious now of, I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be like screaming out my car window at people. I just want to have a nice, calm and peaceful life, to be honest. So it's almost automatic now after just one session that it just completely changed my thought process, and it gave me an actual tool to correct that behavior rather than sitting talking about trauma in the past, which there is a place for, I guess, but that wasn't really working for me. When traditional therapy, it was okay, this is how it's making you feel, this is what you do to stop that, and then it just clicked, like just instantly. It felt like a massive weight was just lifted off my shoulders straight away.
Yeah. I mean, it was in the nicest possible way. It was funny to watch the change in your face.
Yeah.
On that day, because you were like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, couldn't understand. I was like, what? And it was when we were working through it and you were like, right, only time I'm going to tell you to do this, kind of let it in and try and upset yourself basically, and then let's see how long it takes you to bring that back down again. And as soon as you said go, I just like burst instantly. Yep. And I saw in your face, you was like, fuck, that was quick.
Overachiever.
Yeah. I like to excel in everything I do. I'll show you how to upset yourself. Watch this. And then once we finished the whole session and did it all, you were like, right, try again. And I was sitting there and I was like, I can't. And you were like, what? I was like, I can't upset myself anymore. And it was nice because I was then able to think about nice memories without getting upset. Yeah. Whereas anytime anything like that came up or anything reminded me of something, it would just trigger me and it would just like ruin my whole day. So you actually gave me the ability to enjoy memories that I had rather than have to try and avoid them. So yeah, it was an unbelievable difference.
Excellent. Well, and those techniques are just one lesson in the resilience connection.
Yeah.
And there's 48 coming at psychological resilience from a range of different perspectives to give, because I can't, not everyone's it's not going to resonate, every lesson's going to resonate with everyone.
Nope.
So, but at least having an open mind to explore it and test it out. If you don't like it, then move on to the next one.
Yeah. And
just keep going through all 48 lessons. That's the whole point. So having that skill set now, I know you've kind of had a laugh at your expense in some ways by, mates and people in here have said, oh, you've gone soft.
Pretty much.
You no longer lose your shit.
Yeah. Too calm.
Too calm, yeah. What have you done with Ronnie?
It's a personality transplant.
Yeah.
I have been able to make a laugh at my own expense there, whereas like my kind of persona is like people come in and if I'm like cheeky to you and you walk in the door, like it's like, oh yeah, I like you sort of thing. Yeah. And I would say something cheeky to people and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't do that anymore. I do apologize for my rude behavior there. No, just like actually taking a piss out of myself, and people have been laughing and that. So
good.
But it is better than just being some weirdo tuned to the moon, ready to just burst at any point or shout at somebody or get out of the car because somebody's not driving fast enough and try and drag them out theirs. It's just not really the acceptable behavior, and my life is so much happier now. I just, things don't really faze me. I even like, I give my mum in trouble. I was like, mother, like, why are you behaving like that? Don't say that. It's not helpful, is it? And she's like, well, you shut up with that. So
that's similar to actually my wife. She tells me to fuck off with my psychobabble bullshit most of the time. It's charming, isn't it? You get
and I think as well, that worked so well for me.
Yeah.
And I was able to sort of apply it not just to stopping myself from being upset, but to my whole life. And when you said that you were building a resilience connection, you were trying to reach other people, I just thought to myself, I was like, well, if we can even get one person that either doesn't ruin their relationship or doesn't lose their job or doesn't sabotage a friendship, or
Yeah.
a total opposite end of that spectrum, the extreme end doesn't take their own life.
Yeah.
Because they've recognized they've got a problem, they've heard people speaking about it, and they've went and got help, then that's a result. But if through the Resilience Connection we can actually get 10, 20, 30, 100 people
Yes.
to improve their life, then absolutely someone I want to be part of. And I think it's so important for the club to be part of that as well, because the amount of members that have came forward to me because they've heard me speaking about it and been like, hey, can I have his details, sort of thing? What's this all about? So I think that the more normal we can make it, speaking about it,
Yes.
the more people that they see speaking about it and saying, hey, I needed help. I think, like I said, a lot of people probably look at my life and think, that looks great. It's like, well, it wasn't as great. Like had my demons inside, and
Yeah.
my head wasn't in a good place. And I think there's a lot of people out there that probably think, yeah, you've got it sorted, but they're probably fighting their own battles in their head, and a bit of help could really go a long way to change their lives.
Yeah, we're all hiding stuff. We're all masking stuff from ourselves as well as from other people. It's just the nature of being human. It's a very normal thing. We don't necessarily share our deepest secrets with everyone, do we?
No.
And rightly so. Christ, I think people would want to hear mine.
I think they would, to be honest. I think we could probably write a few books and a few movies out of it. You've told me some very interesting stories in the past when we've been in the pub.
Yeah.
And I think we were all like,
I've been very stupid in my life.
well, some of it was your job. It wasn't your fault.
Well, yeah, there is that. There is that. In terms of getting this out to people, how do you want to do this? What's your thoughts?
Well, I hope that this podcast helps get a lot of people thinking about it, and maybe a lot of people come forward. But then I also think that I've been touching base with a lot of people that want to join the program and that want your help. And I've kind of mentioned to them, would you be willing to sort of do a podcast and speak about it as well? So I think if we can encourage some of these quite well-known people in the bodybuilding scene in Aberdeen to speak out like this as well, it's going to help the younger lads, or the ones that maybe haven't identified they've got a problem yet, or maybe they know they have but they're worried to come forward. I think the more people, like a series of getting lads that are well known on this and speaking about their mental health, I think it really is going to help. Even to take a silly example in here, if one of the better known lads goes and buys a certain brand gym top, the next week all the young lads are wearing that same brand.
Yeah.
So I think if we can get these people speaking about their mental health and speaking about them needing help, then hopefully it's going to encourage a lot of people to come forward and to do that as well.
Yeah, kind of a hugely positive influence for sure.
Definitely.
I suppose it might be helpful if I explain it a little bit as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got to remember it. I created it, and I've got to remember what it is now.
We've discussed one tool that's brilliant and works great.
And that's just one piece. So the Resilience Connection is a community, and it's designed to provide 48 coaching lessons over a whole year across 4 different tiers. It starts off at tier 3, and there are 12 lessons in each tier, and there's a little quiz at the end of each one just to help you test your retention of knowledge. And it's open book, so you can go back into the lessons and find the answers. It's not an onerous task. It's really easy, but it's just to reinforce what you've picked up and learnt. And once you pass that quiz, because there is a pass mark, 80%, because I'm a horrible bastard and I like to push people, then you'll get access to tier 2, and then you'll have another 12 coaching lessons, and they're drip fed once a week, so that you have time to complete the tasks in each lesson. So you've got 7 days to, whether it's a bit of reflective journaling, whether you've got to go out and perform, carry out an exercise or a task out in real life for 7 days, or to practice something. And then that works all the way through. So you've got tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, and elite. And there are some big plans for the elite level. There are also monthly calls where you can have we have a Q&A with me. I will have a guest speaker in as well to talk about resilience from a different perspective. There's a whole load of I'm interviewing a whole variety of people from business, sport, and just extraordinary people in life with experience of directly with resilience in terms of utilizing it within their skill set and their business, but also just direct experience in life. So I'm interviewing lots of different people. You'll have access to that. Each level has its own resource library, which has content, extra content related to the lessons within the each tier. So there's a shitload of information and resources available, and also you can, if you want to book a one-to-one with me, we can do it via Zoom, or if you're in Aberdeen or Aberdeenshire, or you want to, we can meet up face to face and do that way. And I have other people in the background as well who work with me, who you can access. So there's potentially someone nearer to you in the country that you can chat to face if you wanted to. So lots and lots. There's a waiting list for this at the moment. It launches officially on the 1st of January, which is why we're doing this, to help promote this. Yep. And in true fashion, there's early bird prices. So the first 100 people will get it for $14.95 a month. If you want to pay up front for the year, you'll get it for 12 months for the price of 10. The next 100 people get it for $19.95 a month, or 12 for 10, and the full price is $24.95 a month. Which worst case scenario, you're going to pay £300 for a year for all this coaching, and you can pay 300 quid plus going to a highly qualified professional coach for one session. So I developed this because if I'd had this 20 plus years ago, I'd have ripped somebody's fucking arm off to have something like this. Mm-hmm. I've built something that I wished I'd had access to. And over the last 20 odd years of experience of life and business, and as a therapist and a coach. So this is, it's a culmination of a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I think that a really good point about it that hit home for me was talking about building a community.
Yes.
So you've got all the tools that are there, but you've also got a community of like-minded people in similar situations that sometimes you just need somebody to listen to you, do you?
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily need to be a professional. It could just be somebody else in the same position that understands. So like building that community online, and then we also discussed making Warehouse like a safe space for it, sort of thing, for MD that's geographically sort of suitable to come in, that you can sort of maybe go into the community chat and be like, having a bad day, lads, is MD free? And then the club will be here that they can come in and train. Sometimes we just is good enough, is it?
Absolutely.
If you kind of got a bit in your head, just come in with somebody that understands the situation, hit the gym for a bit, grab a coffee afterwards. I think that alone is going to be really valuable for people, just to know that they're not alone. Have that community there.
Yeah.
So like for me, that I was like, well, even the lessons aside, it's worth it just for the community of people that helps you understand that you're not alone.
Yeah, well, you just reminded me. Thank you very much, because there's bits I forgot. I told you I created it, but I don't know what the hell's in it.
I'll keep it right, don't worry.
Yeah, it's good. So, as Ronnie said, it is about community and about supporting each other. And each lesson has a discussion section for each lesson, where I really encourage people to share stuff, their experiences of what's in that lesson, how it relates to their life. Mm-hmm. Ask each other questions within the discussions for each lesson, so that you can support each other that way and give your life experience and not just rely on me talking shite.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really good, because everybody's going to have different aspects of life that's causing them to have issues, is it? And if it's in business, there might be somebody in the community that's been there with business, they've done it, they understand, and they can help and mentor and coach there. If it's in relationship, there'll be somebody undoubtedly in there that's in there because of relationship issues.
Yes.
So, I think just getting that community, it's just, hopefully it's going to make people feel comfortable that maybe they don't want to come forward to their family or their friends. They might feel embarrassed or feel like they won't be understood.
Yeah.
But if they've got a community of people that they know are in the same position, then hopefully it's going to make them feel more comfortable to come out and talk about it.
That's the plan. Mm-hmm. That's definitely the plan, because it is sometimes hard. It's easier to speak to strangers than it is
definitely
than it is to your nearest and dearest. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you feel like a stranger's not going to judge kind of thing, and they don't be like, it's been too much in the past. People are like, oh, just like we were discussing, man up.
Man
It's
up.
got to be the worst
Yeah.
term ever used in the past for man up, suck it up sort of thing. But now looking at man up from a perspective of man up and talk about it, and which is harder to talk about your feelings and that you need help, and that should be what man up consists of now, rather than just sort of be a man, you should be all right sort of thing. It's like, no, it's okay to not be okay. But the hardest point is getting help.
Yeah, ask for help. Because sometimes talking about it, as you know, talking about it too soon actually makes things worse. So ask for help, then accept the help, and then make use of the help you're getting.
Yeah.
You've got it, because it's a two-way thing. You've got to do the work. You can be given the advice and the guidance and the tools and techniques. If you don't practice them and apply them into your life, nothing's going to work, and you're just going to stay spinning in the same spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Digging yourself deeper. Having been there and done that, I can vouch for the fact that if you do dig yourself too deep, you end up sticking a barrel of a pistol in your eye socket. Yeah. Don't fucking do that.
No. Yeah,
Because not everyone has a good friend like I did. I do.
I think it's easy to find yourself like what feels like at the bottom of the barrel, is it?
Yes.
Because you're not registering that you've got a problem until your problem is so bad that you think it's unfixable.
Yes.
So I think even just like talking about it more and getting things like this out there and getting the platform out there for people might even help people that think that they're okay realize that they're not.
Yep.
Because I've quite a strong-willed, stubborn kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I guess if people have said to me in the past, you need to go and get help, I'd be like, the fuck are you speaking to? No, I don't.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yes. But you need to realize for yourself that you need help, I think, a lot of the times, rather than be told if you're a strong-willed individual.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to really fuck up to realize that you need that help. So if we can help people to realize that before they've completely fucked up,
Yeah.
then that alone is worth every penny that being part of the program would cost you in a year to just identify you've got a problem before it's a catastrophic problem, when it's just maybe you just need a slight adjustment to how you process things, how you think, how you behave, that's going to improve your life before you ruin your life, sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I am adding some kind of Brucey bonuses in, some extra bits, additional side courses that will be included within the Resilience Connection. There is, for people who sign up to the waiting list at the moment, there's a little secret gift bonus course that people have access to. It's just a short one, but it kind of helps to prime and frame what they're going to do with the Resilience Connection. Yeah. So there is, I'm giving a lot of stuff away here because I want to help people. Ultimately, I don't want people to be in the position I was in. I thought I was psychologically resilient until I was going to shoot myself in the head in my last year in the military.
Yeah.
And this is ultimately the culmination of everything I've learned since then to help people be in a better position than I was in when the chips are down.
Yeah. And knowing you from the military when I was younger as well, like I'd have never in a million years guessed that you that kind of demons.
No.
Just, you think, that's like, yeah, look at him, legend sort of thing. And you'd come and like thrash us half to death and make us crawl up a hill while dragging your mate behind you sort of thing. And not once would any of us have thought that you had that kind of sort of issues in like demons inside it you were fighting, that you were to the extent that you were considering such drastic action.
Yeah.
So I think it just goes to show that anyone and everyone can have problems that they're going to need help with, and it's you got the help.
Yes.
And you've put a lot of work in over the last 20 plus years helping other people, and now we're hopefully going to bring that up to the next level and really get numbers in and get as many people this help as possible. I think it's just great platform, perfect timing for
yes,
for me needing that help and then in getting it, and then you saying, well, by the way, we're doing this as well. And it's just everything seems to be falling in place. So really good.
It does. The timing, it just seems to be kind of naturally slotting into place, which is a nice feeling, actually.
Yeah. It's good when a plan comes together.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of accidentally, but it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's, you know, I was interviewed November last year by a reporter from STV for Remembrance Day. We're out at the War Memorial at Peter Kuter.
Oh, yeah.
And I said then that since I joined the military to that day, 23 people I know that I'd served with within various branches of the military had taken their own life.
Yeah.
That's now up to 25 as of this year. And that's, I know it's a very long time, but still, 25 people I've personally known that have taken their lives.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
I think with the job that you were doing, it's a dangerous job.
It is.
So to get through the dangerous job and then to end up making that decision themselves, it's absolutely tragic. It's just
long after they'd left as well.
Yeah, it's kind of it's heartbreaking that these guys have been through this and then almost left to their own devices with damage that's been sustained psychologically from the job.
Yep.
That's the result in that, and it's just, if that number was 1, it would be too many. So the fact that that's now 25 is, someone has to change.
It does. It does. There's a lot still needs to change. The system has to change.
Yeah.
Because it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
No.
But there's not a lot I can keep. I've been banging this drum for nearly 30 years and my head's hurting. Might as well be smashing it off that bloody wall. Okay. So, advice. What advice would you give?
Try and identify that people have got a problem before it is too late, but 100% coming forward and speaking to you was the best decision that I'd made. And I'd kind of trying to bottle it up and thinking, oh, I'll be all right. And it's just, no, it's just, there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be embarrassed of, to admit that you've got a problem mentally. Mental health is health, and you can have problems. It doesn't mean that you're a bloody psycho or there's something wrong with you. I think that in the past, I've been through some interesting and difficult situations in my life. And I remember a close friend saying, you shouldn't need that, when I was speaking about needing some help and needing to speak to somebody. Just suck it up, sort of thing. No, don't suck it up. Speak about it, because you probably can not fix it, but make it better, improve how you feel and improve that and make a real difference before it's too late. And then kind of almost pay it forward. So like then go and start speaking to other people and help them understand that they've maybe got some issues there that they could use some help with, and kind of help your friends, help your family. I've spoke to friends, I've spoke to family about this. I've explained what we've done together, I explained what's coming. And I basically, like, you've got a waiting list for a resilience connection. I've got a waiting list for friends and family that want to come and have a one-to-one with you. So, it's just undoubted, and without a question, without it, it's just, if you think that you might need help, you almost definitely do.
Yeah.
And what's the worst that could happen? Like, come forward, speak to you, have a chat. If it works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't, you've tried, sort of thing. But there's no reason for it not to. And if they persevere with it, and if they keep showing up, and if they go through all the lessons, then it can only improve things for them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't be shy.
No. And hopefully we can get more things like this out there to help people work out they've got a problem they don't know they have. Because I had a problem for a lot longer than I knew I had a problem. And if I knew I had a problem earlier, it could have made some changes earlier, and could have changed the outcomes of some situations.
Yeah.
So, I really hope that we can keep pushing this, so we can keep getting the word out there. We can keep making people feel safe to come forward and to have a private chat. It's not like you live stream every session that we do with people. So
No, that would be weird.
yeah, so that if we can kind of get people to feel comfortable to even just have an initial chat with you, and then move on to the platform, or maybe they're going to need to go down a one-to-one route or whatever they need to do, then yeah, it's so important to keep a focus on this and to keep it at the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah.
And let them know that they're not alone. There's a lot of people in the same position.
Yeah, and that's exactly why this is a community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, onwards and upwards, Ronnie.
Indeed.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cheers, bud.
Cheers. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to do, well, I hope it's going to do as much good as I want it to.
Yeah, I think it will. I think that it'll just keep growing as people get involved, as they start to feel the benefit of it. They're going to then tell their family and friends who are going to want to come on board, similar to what I've done. So I think it'll roll and it'll snowball, and eventually we're going to get the numbers into this that we both want to really start making a significant change to people.
Yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Start people's new year with a bang.
Yeah. 1st January 2025, here we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.